Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Maniac Mondays. I am Lotus Knight, one of your hosts and your stream operator for tonight. And I am joined by my co-caster for tonight, Mojo Powell. Mojo, how are you?
Good. Excited to be here. My first time casting a Nozstone tournament, and I'm very excited to get into it.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy and a lot of fun. With us for the team reveals, or player reveals, not teams this time, we have the one and only nice Jewish Owl. Owl, how are you?
I'm doing well. I won the last Maniac Monday, so now I have a reputation to uphold with this one.
Yeah, and this is going to be a crazy one. We have honestly quite a lot. There are a lot of people playing, and this is a very weird meta when the best decks. I don't think you can bring the best decks right now. So there's a lot to consider in this tournament. Um, I before we go on, I kind of want to start. Mojo, can you tell us what is the format for this one?
Absolutely. So this is a best of five conquest format tournament. So that is going to be first person to three wins. Conquest is it's standard. I guess I should say that standard. Decks conquest. You bring four decks. Each player will ban one of their opponent's decks, and you will follow by playing all three of your non-banned classes. That is how Conquest works. And once you win with a deck, you cannot play it again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so not as much queue order fun stuff as Last Hero Standing, but this is the more typical Hearthstone format. And the exciting thing about tonight's tournament is that Nozdormu the Eternal will be in all players' decks. So this means that turn timers are going to be 15 seconds long, I believe, for every turn
That's
for the entire tournament.
that's not a lot of time. We're going to see a lot of games done in less than 2 minutes, which is going to be hilarious. Now, Owl, as a player, anything you're really looking to see in this tournament?
Um, I mean, I'm really hoping there's some people who sort of, have the cojones to bring that D6 Warlock or Celestial Druid with that 15-second turn timer. I
Sure.
think if you've got a lot of experience on the deck and you're really confident with how fast you can make decisions, you could probably bring one of those. But you would have to be really confident to try it, and I don't know how it would turn out.
I don't think I would bring it, but that is a bold statement. Shall we take a look at who is playing this time? What we'll do here is I'm going to go through the list of players for the tournament. So I'm going to read one by one, and we'll see their names on stream, and then I'll ask one of you. I'll alternate between the two of you to comment on it. So, and we will go through the players who have checked in. You can still register for the tournament if you have not, just as a reminder to everyone. And you can, if you haven't checked in yet and are playing, please check in. Otherwise, you're going to be eliminated in 10 minutes. So, our first player is Mr. Python. Mojo, any thoughts on Mr. Python?
Yeah, seen him around THL a couple times. Know him to be a good player. I don't know much about his preferences in terms of decks. So I'm excited to see what he brings.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. He was the Hero MVP last season. Um, Speaking of someone who had a crazy season last time, Owl, tell me about our number two player, Roadrunner.
Yeah, Roadrunner is someone who it still astonishes me to this day how low his PR is. I know he's a Tespa player. He's always in Legend, and he's participated in a lot of the Maniac Monday tournaments. And I really do think that he's a strong player and has a good chance.
Yeah, I agree. I would keep our eyes out for this one. This is someone who did super well last season. And someone who also did super well last season. Mojo, tell us about our next player, Nice Jewish Owl.
Oh well, Nice Jewish Owl just so happens to be my Legacy Series captain, so I think he's a great player. Owl, if I may say this about you, I know that Owl has a tendency to bring a specific type of deck, and that is only Control Warrior. So if he somehow managed to submit Control Warrior 4 times, I think he's got this in the bag.
Yeah, I think Control Warrior is actually not that bad a choice here. Owl, do you think our next player, Chewbacca, would think the same as you?
Um, I don't know. Chewbacca's another player who I've seen around and seems to be fairly under PR. Um, I know he knows how to play Control Warrior because I've definitely been in some Discord calls where I was teaching him, but I don't know if he's going to be submitting it for this.
Sure. Yeah, I wonder if he will. Now, I don't know if you two know this person because I personally don't, but do you know FaZe Kinch?
I do not, but I'm always excited to see a new face.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for new players as well. You don't need to be an old THL player to play here, so really nice to see someone we haven't seen before. Our next player, Owl, do you want to tell us about Damon?
Sure, this guy's horrible at Hearthstone. He's easily the worst player on this list. He also happens to be about 2 rooms down from me in my apartment. So, no, in all seriousness, Damon's a strong player. He's not played too much of the constructed formats in THL, but he's currently set to be a Battlegrounds all-star with the finishes he's putting up there. And I know this recent month he's had a really good time on ladder. He's been consistently in the top 200
Nice.
after never hitting 11 star before.
That's awesome. Do you know what deck he's been that high with?
I know he played Secret Paladin a lot, and then the nerfs hit, and then he still played the exact same 30 for Secret Paladin and kept on winning. And he's also been experimenting a bit with Libra Paladin recently, which is an interesting choice.
That is certainly an interesting choice. Um, Speaking of horrible Hearthstone players, Mojo, can you tell us about our next player, Naturia Beast, also known as Geranium Battle?
Yeah, so this is a now THL Classic player Geranium Battle. Typically, I believe a 1 to 2 seed in Legacy. I think currently playing for Agent P, Ellie, and the Light Showers. Really strong player. Excited to see what he does here.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one. I know he's been performing super well, so I'm excited to see how he does here. Um, our next player, Owl, a birdly friend of yours, tell us about Goose.
Yeah, I'd say I don't know that much about Goose, but I know he's a really strong player. I've seen him around pro. I think I've seen him a few times on ladder, if my memory serves me right. But definitely someone to watch out for.
Yeah. Um, as for our next player, Mojo, he's everyone's captain, Diamond 22.
Yeah, Diamond always a very strong player. Another criminally under PR player. I believe probably the only player under 300 PR to have ever, I believe, qualified for a Masters tour. So
Probably.
Diamond is really one of the best.
Yeah. Now his name reminds us all of a musician. Owl, can you tell us a bit about Mick?
Ah, yes, Mick. He's a player that I met before he came to THL because we kept queuing Control Warrior mirrors on ladder. And at some point he added me because he was unhappy that he would play Rattlegore and I would play Owl. And at that point he would concede because we'd played it out 7 times before that week and he knew how it went. But Mick is a very very strong player. He's been having some success in pro and in legacy, if my memory serves me right. And I think he's another one to add to the list of very strong players who are pretty consistently in the top 200 who are checked in here.
Awesome. Now, our next player, we have extraordinary THL player who I think has been rank 1 legend this month. Mojo, tell me a little bit about Dabs.
Yeah, Dabs is probably one of the strongest players in this tournament. Always like very consistently at the very top end of Legend. Performs really well in THL with all of his alt accounts, Dabs, Debs, Dibs, and whoever else he's decided to add this season. But Dabs, really super strong player and maybe a bit of a front runner.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Dabs take this whole thing. The guy's insane in his Shaman and in most decks he plays. Our next player, though, should not be stewed upon. Owl, tell me about T-Stew.
T-Stew is an absolutely insane player. I haven't gotten the chance to play against him because his PR is a little higher than where I usually hang around. But I do remember him going 8-0 in Legacy last season, and with
Yes.
the strength of teams at this point and the strength of the 1 seed in THL, going 8-0 is no easy feat, and I would be a little scared if I saw myself matched up against him.
Yeah. I agree. That is a scary name. As for our final name, Mojo, kick us out with Turtle.
Turtle, a THL classic. Nice personality around the scene. Turtle's a fun guy. Towards the top end of PR in Legacy, I believe. So excited to see what he can do here.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Turtle. Turtle has been a really fun player to see in THL, and I want to see how this goes. There is still 1 more minute to sign up, so if anyone signs up last minute, we will read their names. Other than that, Desharmo is basically telling me they're all set. There are 13 people signed up, so there are going to be 4 rounds for the tournament. As a reminder, this is single elimination. Um, so while we have this last minute for any final participants or anything else that happens, I just want to ask you two, how hard is it going to be for us to cast Nozstone?
So this is going to be the death of us.
Yeah.
I have to say, if you ask, I guess like Wicked Good or Dollar Bill, some of the casters for the DreamHack or Philly Esports stuff have had to cast me before. They'll tell you every game I play is a game of Nozstone when you're casting me. So
Sure.
casters have held up with me in the past. I think they can continue.
I mean, I've cast Hat many times, and Hat is like that. There's no such a thing as Hat taking it slow. So I'm expecting this to be similar. I did it before with Ron, and that was a crazy casting session. So I'm very curious to what will happen. I think we're going to take a short break for delay while Desharmo seeds the bracket and everyone begins. I just want to thank Owl for joining us for this reveal, and we are going to see you all in 10 minutes.